What's going on? I've got a good one for you today. We're in front of Judge Wheeler out of Battleground, Washington. And yeah, we got a little bit of a spicy one. We have a defendant who he kind of thumbs his nose to the court. The judge calls him out on it. The defense attorney tries his best. He really does. Gives the best defense he can. We'll see if it's enough. Anyways, I'm calling. We're cooling. Let's go.
Have Mr. Quinn here on? Okay. I'd ask the court to take the cases one at a time. Yep. As your honor is aware, I just saw these this morning, so I'm going a bit from memory.
That's fine.
I'd ask the
There's
court.
3 files and I see only 2.
Oh. This is the existing that we're having. The one I'm aware of.
Sure.
So your honor, if you could reference the yellow file that I just gave you.
Uh-huh.
I'd ask your honor to review your probable cause determination and review the declaration of probable cause.
Okay.
Based on my reading, the only allegation is that there wasn't a temporary tag, but the declaration does not say that there was not a license plate on the vehicle, which would have required a temporary tag. The declaration of probable cause also names unnamed equipment violations, a generic. I would argue that that declaration of probable cause is not sufficient. Certainly the officer at a future date could refile with the proper declaration, but at this point for that cause number, I would argue there is not probable cause to proceed based on the officer's declaration of probable cause.
Well, it says that the officer is positioned behind Mr. Quinn's vehicle. It does say the vehicle is unplated. You want to look?
Right? Oh,
It's okay.
I wouldn't. Check my brain. I thought I read.
That's fine.
Otherwise, it's gonna be, we're gonna enter a police that's not guilty. And again, you've already found it. I was just thinking,
It's okay.
we're going westbound, and unplated. Sorry, I'm going through everything too quickly. So here are the 2 new
All right.
charges and it's included.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Quinn, you have new cases before the court. The first is 5A0835722. This is a charge from the 30th of September 2025 of driving while suspended 3rd degree. That's a simple misdemeanor subject to 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. I did review the associated police reports with the case. I did find probable cause. I'm going to be assigning Mr. Sowards to all of your cases. Mr. Sowards, how is Mr. Quinn asking to proceed on this charge?
A plea of not guilty, Your Honor, and to cite everything concurrently. And I think to cover everything out to my December 11th docket, I understand there's a release discussion that we're going to have still.
Yeah, we'll hold off on that. Mr. Quinn, the second matter is 5A0843296. This is originally, it looks like was scheduled for arraignment on the 23rd. I think in efficiency's sake, the clerks were kind enough to hold this as well. This is from October 10th, 2025. It's a charge of driving while suspended in 3rd degree, and failure to transfer title within 45 days. Those are both simple misdemeanor subject to 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. I did review the associated police reports with that case. I also did find probable cause for those charges. Mr. Sowards, how is Mr. Quinn asking to proceed on that matter?
We'd ask that the court will waive a formal entry or waive a formal reading of the information or citation, enter a plea of not guilty, and ask that his next court date be set to December 11th.
So, Ms. Carmi, I'm going to hear from you.
Your Honor, my client has 2 letters from DOL, but they're on his phone. Does he have permission to access his phone so that I could read from them directly for the court?
Do you know what the substance of the letters is?
Yes, we looked at them out there, but before he pulls out his phone, we're
As
in
an
open
officer
court.
of the court, why don't you just tell me what the letters say?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I think it was November 30th. He paid a $170 reissue fee. September 20th, he has a receipt from DOL saying he paid a reissue fee, and that letter seems to indicate you're legal. Then on October 10th, he could produce another letter that says, oh, by the way, you need to come back and do a retest. And that somewhat covers the time period of these allegations. I've been working with Mr. Quinn. He's been good with my office, stayed in contact. He knew what he had to do, thought he was doing it. And again, this is not a trial today on the driving while suspended, but it's absolutely as to what I would normally expect the court to see as a great amount of disrespect to the court's orders. We would like to think that Mr. Quinn was believing he was moving through DMV's process. Again, I looked at the September 20th letter, $170 reissue fee paid. And then the October letter saying, oh, you got to come back and do a retest. And so before Your Honor believes that Mr. Quinn was basically thumbing his nose at the court's orders to not drive, I could understand where he thought he was okay. And then once he knew he wasn't, he's back here. And again, that's just for the matter of Your Honor's decision on release.
Ms. Carmi?
Well, a larger concern for the city is that he's got an active warrant, it appears, out of Camas Washougal for a DUI charge that he was supposed to appear on in June and didn't, and there was an FTA issued. I mean, I'm more concerned about a warrant on a DUI case than I am necessarily on a DWS3 that's been in place since June 18 of 2025. At the very least, we're asking that a condition of release is that he appear and have that quashed. There are, looking at the ADR, I think there's numerous issues that DOL is wanting addressed. So
Yeah.
The city has a hard time believing this is just a mistake of what needs to be done. But at any rate, we do think some manner of release condition is appropriate, including requirement to quash that warrant.
If Ms.
I want to show this to Mr. Quinn. So hand that to Mr. Washougal. Show that to him.
Yeah, this is about the time that you realize this story does not track. You got a lot of traffic matters, my friend. Go take care of your DUI. You can't just run away from that. I like how he's showing up for a driving while suspended case, and he's just ignoring a DUI case. Yeah, judges talk. Courts can see that. Good job, man.
He went out, and my understanding is that he did the 5 days work crew and thought that had resolved the matter.
Well,
And I'm
my assumption is that there was a condition on his DUI charge in July of 2023 to not have any law violations. My assumption is that depending on when that charge was resolved, probably the July 10th, 2024 amended DWS 3 that this court, the city attorney amended, was a law violation. Probably a subsequent probation violation was filed in April 7th of 2025 for another alleged driving while suspended second degree. I'm assuming that a third probation violation was filed in September 30th, 2025 for another driving while suspended third degree, and likely a fourth probation violation is in the process of being filed on the October 10th, 2025 driving while suspended in the third degree. So, Mr. Quinn, I mean, I have to be honest with you, I'm a little bit baffled. I think the city showed you a tremendous amount of grace in not suspending you in the second degree and having you go forward on that charge. At this stage, had they done so, you'd be what's called a habitual traffic offender. You would not be able to relicense for 5 years. If you don't know if your license is reinstated, I have a hard time fathoming that. And the reason I have a hard time fathoming that is that when you reinstate a license, you get a new driver's license. There's a new expiration date on it. So if you have a letter that just says something was paid or you paid a fee and so forth, real time, at any point on the phone that Mr. Sowards is talking about, that you have all these pictures on of all these letters, you can real time check your drive status, any given point. I can, on my phone right here, check your drive status right now. So a perceived belief that in September you had a valid license and then 20 days later that you had a valid license again, that doesn't carry any weight with me. I wrote on your form last time to cancel your Washougal warrant, and you didn't do that either.
I called them and they were saying something about the 5 days of work crew. I went and showed them that I completed that, and then they said, okay, I don't.
So if I contact that court right now, which I can do, they're gonna tell me there's no warrant?
Well, obviously there's.
Because you and I know why there's a warrant. I explained it to you. Because during the time that you've been on release on that case where your conditions were no law violations, you had 3 to 4 to 5 new charges. So this isn't about work crew. Work crew might be a part of it.
That was my understanding of what it was about on Washougal. So
Come on, you've been in the system way too much. I'm looking at your history right now. Okay? You're on a second page at this stage. So no, the sort of like, I don't get the system, I don't understand the process, it just doesn't carry weight. 8 years now, you've been committing criminal offenses. It is water off a duck's back. I frankly don't think you care. It just doesn't resonate to me that any of this is reaching you. So you are going into custody today. I'm going to take you into custody on the driving while suspended second degree case, because from what I can see, you've at least committed 4 new alleged criminal violations since the time I placed you on release back in April. I'm going to impose a bail in the amount of $1,000. I'm going to probably set this to next week in case you don't bail out. If you do bail out, you will have an expectation of being in court. On the 2 new charges, Madam Clerk, I'm releasing him on his recognizance on both of those cases. I'm directing you again, if you do post bail, you will go to the Washougal Municipal Court and or appear in custody on the Washougal Municipal Court case, and you will cancel that warrant. Do you understand? It's going to take me a minute to get return to court forms drawn up.
Just for procedure, can he next Thursday, which is not my day, but I'll appear for this one at 8:30. How could he, if the next time that Washougal is in business is next Thursday, would that be an afternoon in Washougal? I mean, how?
It would be afternoon, but my assumption is if they have bail on that, he will appear if he's in custody on a video docket. Maybe as early as tomorrow, unless he bails out right away.
Oh, that's right. District Court will do a courtesy.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, okay. Wheels are spinning.
That's okay.
And Your Honor, again, if the clerk can make sure that he's noted to be first up, I'll come on that day, even though it's not my day.
More than happy to do that.
Thank you
Again,
very
it's going to take me a minute to get the documents filled out here, but I will get everything.
No
filled out.
worries.
All right, I let that run a little long. Anyways, yeah, he's going to jail. He might bond out. It's not a crazy high bond, but who knows? Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't expecting it to end that quickly. So I'm sitting there running through my head what I'm going to say at the conclusion. So you know what? I'm just not going to say anything. We all saw it. There's not really anything more to say. He went to jail. Bunch of charges. The judge nailed it. He's like, we're not playing these games anymore. You're going into custody today. We'll see you next week. All right. Hopefully you liked that one. Please hit the like button if you did. Subscribe, leave a comment, hype, do all those fun things. You know what to do. That's it. That's all I got. Till next time. Bye.